Hey there, fellow adventurers! Ever heard of a place called El Dorado? It's legendary. Think lost cities, mountains of gold, and enough mystery to make Indiana Jones jealous. This isn't just some made-up story, though. It all started centuries ago in the heart of South America. Imagine dense jungles, towering mountains, and whispers of a city so rich it glittered in the sun. The legend of El Dorado was born from these whispers. Word spread among the native people of a powerful tribe, the Muisca. They lived high in the Andes Mountains of what is now Colombia. These guys weren't your average tribe, though. They had something everyone wanted: gold. But not just a little, we're talking serious bling-bling. The Muisca, however, weren't just hoarding the gold. They used it in their rituals, ceremonies, and even as offerings to their gods. They believed gold held a spiritual power, a connection to the divine. Little did they know their reverence for gold would spark a legend that would captivate the world for centuries to come. A legend that would send countless explorers on a wild goose chase through treacherous jungles and across scorching deserts, all in search of the mythical city of El Dorado, the city of gold. Now let's talk about the main event, the ritual that started it all. The Muisca had this tradition, see? Every time a new king came into power, they held a ceremony at a sacred lake high in the mountains. This wasn't your average coronation, though. Picture this. The new king, completely naked, covered head to toe in gold dust, stands on a raft made of reeds. He's surrounded by his priests, all chanting and playing music. Then, the king dives into the lake. As he goes under, he throws emeralds and gold objects into the water as offerings to the gods. This ritual, my friends, became the stuff of legends. The image of the Golden King, shimmering under the Andean sun, was burned into the minds of anyone lucky enough to witness it. And you can bet your bottom dollar that word spread like wildfire through the ancient world. Of course, stories like these have a way of changing as they're passed from person to person. The details get exaggerated, the gold gets more plentiful, and the city, well, it becomes a shimmering mirage of riches beyond imagination. And that's how the legend of El Dorado was born, a tale whispered from campfire to campfire, each time growing grander, more enticing, and ultimately more elusive. Fast forward a few centuries, and who should show up on the shores of South America but the Spanish conquistadors? These guys were tough, they were ruthless, and they were absolutely obsessed with gold. They'd heard the whispers of El Dorado, this city of gold, and they were determined to find it. The Spanish saw the Muisca's gold and went a little crazy. Their eyes turned into little gold coins, and they started thinking, if these natives have this much, imagine what their king must have. They were convinced that El Dorado wasn't just a legend, but a real place, overflowing with riches. They bullied the natives, tortured them, all for information about this mythical city. But the Muisca, they weren't giving up their secrets easily. They'd seen what greed did to people. The Spanish, convinced they were on the right track, launched expedition after expedition into the heart of the jungle. They faced disease, starvation, and attacks by hostile tribes, all for a city that might not even exist. Talk about dedication, or maybe just plain old greed. Imagine yourself back then, trekking through the Amazon. The jungle is alive with sounds, howler monkeys screaming, insects buzzing, and the constant drip, drip, drip of humidity. It's hot, muggy, and the air is thick with the smell of rotting vegetation. You're hacking through vines, wading through swamps, and battling mosquitoes the size of your thumb. Not exactly a 5-star vacation, right? That was the reality for those early explorers. They faced treacherous terrain, scorching heat, and torrential downpours. They had to navigate by the stars, using crude maps drawn by people who had never actually seen El Dorado. Food was scarce, dangers lurked around every corner, and disease spread like wildfire. But these guys were determined. They'd come too far to turn back. Some expeditions returned empty-handed, their dreams of gold dashed against the rocks of reality. Others disappeared altogether, swallowed whole by the jungle. It's a reminder that the pursuit of treasure can be a dangerous game, and sometimes the greatest treasure is simply making it back alive. Now, it wasn't all doom and gloom. Some expeditions did return with tales of incredible cities and impressive treasures. They brought back stories of the Inca, the Aztec, and other powerful civilizations that had indeed mastered the art of goldsmithing. These discoveries fueled the legend of El Dorado, making people believe that the ultimate prize, the City of Gold, was still out there, waiting to be found. One famous explorer, Gonzalo Pizarro, he led an expedition through the Andes Mountains. Can you imagine going up those treacherous slopes? They faced freezing temperatures, blinding snowstorms, and treacherous paths. Did they find El Dorado? Nope. But they did find the starting point of the Amazon River. Talk about an awesome consolation prize. Another explorer, Francisco de Orellana, he actually sailed the entire length of the Amazon River. It took him and his crew months to complete the journey, and they faced countless dangers along the way. They encountered hostile tribes, navigated treacherous rapids, and battled hunger and disease. But they survived, and their epic journey became the stuff of legends. So, is El Dorado real? Well, the physical City of Gold? Probably not. But that doesn't mean the legend is dead. Even today, centuries after those first expeditions, people are still searching for El Dorado. Archaeologists, historians, and yes, even treasure hunters are still captivated by the mystery. And they're finding things. Lost cities, ancient artifacts, and evidence of civilizations even more impressive than we could have imagined. For example, in 2010, archaeologists discovered the ruins of Ciudad Perdida, the lost city of the Tairona people, hidden deep in the Colombian jungle. It wasn't El Dorado, but it was a remarkable find nonetheless. Then there's the legend of Lake Parim, a mythical lake in South America that was said to be the location of El Dorado. While the lake itself hasn't been found, satellite imagery has revealed ancient settlements and possible ceremonial sites in the region. Who knows what secrets are still waiting to be unearthed? The search for El Dorado continues not just in the jungles of South America, but also in the archives using modern technology to re-examine old maps and historical accounts. It's a reminder that the past is never truly gone, and there are always new discoveries to be made. So we've talked about the legends, the explorers, the hardships, and the discoveries. But what does El Dorado really represent? Was it ever just about the gold? Sure, the prospect of unimaginable riches was a powerful motivator. But I think El Dorado represents something more profound. The human desire for exploration, for the unknown, for something bigger than ourselves. It's the same spirit that drives us to climb mountains, explore the oceans, and venture into space. It's the thirst for adventure, the hunger for knowledge, and the belief that there's still so much out there to discover. El Dorado, whether a real city or a figment of our collective imagination, has taught us valuable lessons about ourselves, our resilience, our capacity for greed, and our endless fascination with the unknown. It's a story that continues to inspire, intrigue, and remind us that sometimes the greatest treasure is the journey itself. So what do you think? Do you believe in El Dorado? Have you ever dreamt of finding a lost city or uncovering a hidden treasure? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on this enduring legend.